the final trading day for the month of August, we're seeing the equity averages trade above the flat line. We got some mixed batch of U.S. economic data today, but it does come on the better than expected GDP figures in the prior session. Joining me now is Alan Valdes of SilverBear Capital. Alan, great to have you here.
Great to be here. Thank you, Remy.
Well, we are seeing U.S. stocks higher on the session. The dollar has paired gains, and this does come on the heels of those housing figures. But we have to keep in mind the overall picture does remain positive for the U.S. economy. Of course, we have the jobs report, and it's all about the Fed. So what do you make of what we're seeing so far?
I make a strong U.S. economy here. I tell you, all the numbers are strong. That's coming out of the Feds and the government. Tomorrow we get a jobs number. If you look at ADP yesterday, I mean, that was a strong number. And I think we'll see another good number from the U.S. government tomorrow. The regular non-farm payroll number tomorrow should be, 180 plus. So I think overall, and you're seeing it in the dollar, I mean, this economy is very strong.
Earlier this week, we saw geopolitical jitters affect the broader market as well as gold, the dollar, bond yields as well. But we have to keep in mind that once we get back from the Labor Day holiday weekend, politics will be taking center stage given that the debt ceiling deadline is coming up. Now, what do you expect to see as we return from the holiday?
Well, you're right. It'll be back to politics, back to bashing the president. I'm pretty sure, and things of that nature. As far as the debt ceiling, I mean, we've been through so many of these debt ceiling scares. Nothing really happens. They're going to sign it for sure. So I don't see any problem with the debt. I mean, we'll take it right to the brink, and then we'll back off a little. But I think, at the end of the day, tomorrow we'll get a good jobs number, most likely. And that's what really matters for traders, for the market. The market's still so strong. I mean, we're just a tad under the record highs here. And again, this is with geopolitical problems around the world. This market is almost bulletproof. Keep an eye on oil, though. I mean, the events in Texas, you saw oil spike today in a matter of seconds when they said they're not going to go back online, the biggest refinery, maybe for 4 weeks. But again, that's temporary.
And I'm glad you brought up oil because we've been keeping an eye on commodities, especially crude oil prices and gold this week, given what we've been seeing in global developments. But this afternoon, we heard news that the Trump administration will be dipping into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. And this does come, as you mentioned, because of the reduced refinery output capacity. But as we all know, there is a supply glut around the world. So ahead of the OPEC meeting that is happening in the autumn, what do you expect to see in terms of global oil supplies?
Well, I think you're going to, again, I think this is going to be short term. And, but I think in the short term, we'll be importing more oil pretty quickly here, obviously. I mean, they can make a fortune selling it to us at elevated prices, which they're up there right now on the board. So I think overall, it's going to be a great couple of months for OPEC. And but we'll see how long they stay off. I mean, some of that flooding looks horrible out there where the refineries are, and if it's just one refinery, now they're talking maybe 4 refineries, so it could be a while before everyone's back online. Again, it would be a big push for the OPEC nations.
Yeah, and indeed, the devastation down in Texas as well as Louisiana is staggering. Here at the New York Stock Exchange, both the opening bell and closing bell have been commemorating what's happening down there. And the American Red Cross donations are in the spotlight here at the New York Stock Exchange. So thank you very much for joining me today, and have a great holiday weekend, Alan.
Thanks, Remy. You too now.